the middle of 2020. And I'm sat there in my room. The lights are off. I'm just laying there in my bed. But I'm wide awake. I feel dirty. I feel angry. I feel almost ashamed of myself. More ashamed than I've ever felt. Because just 20 minutes ago, I'm sat there on my desk. I'm on Discord with my friends. This is VC. And I'm just talking to them. I'm having fun because I'm about to level up in this game that I'm playing. I'm about to get to 200 stars. And for context, in this game, when you win enough, you essentially just level up each star. And it's like this big milestone, and I'm at the highest at anybody in my friend group. But as I'm sat there and I'm about to genuinely win the game, I hear my door creak open. And I know what's about to happen as soon as I hear that sound, because I look over and my dad just stood there in the doorway, and he looks pissed off. He tells me, Atharv, you've been on the game for 10 hours now. Get off the game. Go do something else. And so I pull up my usual technique. I'm just like, okay, Dad, just like 5 minutes, five more minutes, and I'll come off. And I'm just trying to get him out of my room. And it works. He walks out of the room just like usual. But as I'm about to just get back into the game, I'm like, you guys, I'm back. I just had to talk to my dad. I realize that I'm lagging like crazy now. In fact, I can't even move. So as I look at the Wi-Fi bar on like the bottom of the screen, I realize there is no Wi-Fi. And at this point, I know what exactly has happened. I go to the hall, and I already see my dad has the cord to the Wi-Fi router, and he just unplugged it because he was pissed off. But in that moment, I feel so frustrated, so wronged. I feel like they don't understand me. Why can't my parents just give me 5 more minutes? That I end up charging down the hall. And I start shoving my dad, I start pushing him away to try and get to the plug and try and plug it back in. And just for context, I'm 2 feet shorter than my dad. I'm not actually going to hurt him. But he does stumble for a second. And so my mom's on the other side of the room. She's shouting at me, Atharv, go away from your dad. Go back to your room. Do something else. I start shouting at her. I start shouting at my dad. And a couple minutes later, I succeed. I get the cord. And I plug it back into the router. And so as I'm walking back into my room, I just take a quick peek over my shoulder. And I just realize my parents are looking at me with this disgusted look on their face. And so I go back to my room, but I don't end up getting back on the game. I turn off my lights. I lay there on my bed. And I just think how disappointed my parents were over me just wanting 15 more minutes on the game. How I literally threw that entire tantrum. I yelled at my parents. I yelled at my mom. I pushed my dad. All for basically nothing. So I make this video, and I told you that story there, not because I want to make you feel bad about playing video games. Dude, I literally played for hours every single day for 4 entire years. Just like you. But I made this video because even though I loved gaming as well. If you just hear me out, I think you probably feel the same feeling that I feel now too about gaming, which is it isn't as fun as it used to be, right? You get into all these arguments with your parents. You literally get into fights with them. Everything else in your life feels boring. Like you don't feel like doing or making progress in life, and you might as well just do it in the game instead. And I make this video just to peel back the layers of gaming and this hobby, this addiction that I used to have. And just peel back the layers because I believe, honestly, gaming made my life feel miserable. And I think there's 2 main reasons for this. And I think you're probably going to relate to them as well. The first reason that I think gaming genuinely just made my life feel like it wasn't actually that fun anymore was because it became my escape. It became a way for me to escape from the fact that I was a loser in real life. And you might think I'm just exaggerating, but I'll put my hand up and say, dude, I was this fat ass. I felt genuinely beneath everybody else. I felt left out from everybody. I would get fat shamed every single day by my friends. I'd get in daily arguments with my parents. And so compare that part of my life, the real life that I used to have with the game. Think about it. On that exact game that I was playing, I was at 200 stars. I was higher than every single one of my friends in the game. And so I actually had respect. When I'd get on the game, I didn't feel like I was beneath everybody else. I felt like I belonged, that I had prestige, that I had respect. And so what does any 12-year-old kid that feels like he's not getting that same thing in real life do? Well, I made gaming my actual life. And then there's a problem with that too, which is that a feeling of happiness, of making progress, of leveling up, it never lasted. So every time I'd get off the game, I just feel like nothing else had any meaning. I felt like my life had no meaning because I just made gaming everything I obsessed over. It was the only part of my life that I felt like I had any control. And so it was the only part of my life that I actually cared about. But the second reason that I think that gaming honestly made my life miserable is because after a couple of years, it gave me this like semi-depression. If you kind of understand what I mean. Because when I was on the game, and I actually have a story to back this up, like a couple of weeks ago, I honestly just went on a walk with my parents. It wasn't like anything special. I just went for like a 30-minute walk out there in like the trails near my house. And it wasn't anything special. I just like went there. I was just chatting with my parents. I was just talking and just feeling pretty good. But after that half an hour of that wholesome, nice walk with my mom and dad, I realized back when I used to be like really deep into gaming, I could have never done that. I'm not even kidding. I would never have had the ability to find any enjoyment in just going for a walk with my parents. And of course, I don't want to make this into like the gay, oh, life is about enjoying the meaning, the small things in life. That's not what I actually I'm trying to get to. Like, oh shoot, I just studied so hard. That's not what I'm trying to get across. It's that when you're so deep into gaming, everything else in your life just loses that meaning. You don't have the same happiness that you used to feel when you were in the 3rd grade, in the 4th grade. You start to lose the ability to feel any enjoyment in your life. The only time you find like yourself feeling happy was when you're on the game. And so of course you're not going to spend that much time in real life. And so what am I trying to get across with this? Why did I tell you all this? Well, I used to view that gaming and just watching YouTube while I'm playing video games and junk food and all these things, I used to think that they would add happiness to my life. And so I kept on doing them. I kept on just making these excuses for this hobby that I used to have. Oh, well, it actually makes me creative and it makes me happy, so why should I keep playing it? But now I'm starting to think, honestly, that it did the opposite. It didn't make my life feel happier. Gaming didn't make me feel happy. It just made the rest of my life feel less enjoyable. It made me feel like the only time I feel happy or respected or accepted was when I was on the game. And here's the thing, those pricks at the gaming like studios, they know this. The only reason they have these things like the level bars and they make it like this social thing is because they want it to become a deeper and deeper part of your life. Think about it. They know what they're doing. They don't have your best interest at heart. Dude, they are actively trying to just suck all of the happiness out of your life with their games, with their products, because it makes them more money. Think about it for a second. And I make this video again, not because I want to make you feel like a bad person, but because I wish that I understood this earlier. And so you might have these objections to what I'm saying now. You might say, wait, Athar, but all my friends play the game. All my friends are on it, so if I quit the game, then But that wouldn't make any sense. All my friends are playing it too. That's where all my friends are. So if all my friends are playing it, why shouldn't I? But if you really think about it, dude, if those people stopped being friends with you just because you stopped playing the game, because you remove that one thing from your life, were they even that close to you from the start? And I'm saying this because I'm not even kidding. When I quit gaming for the first time, it wasn't like any like big event, right? I just started doing other habits and replacing gaming with those things. So at one point I stopped really playing I started really playing games that much. And I remember the people that I used to play Minecraft, Roblox, all these games with, Genshin Impact, because I was a gooner, right? Those people literally stopped texting me after 3 days. 3 days. That's all it took for them to forget about me. So were they really that close to me? I don't really think so. And what's more important for you to realize is that you're going to gain so much from getting rid of this addiction. I have this other objection real quick. You might think that it's fun. You might think that this hobby of gaming is not really that bad, right? I think that when we try and defend this habit, we're really just doing it because you and especially me, I used to think that there wouldn't be anything better. I used to think that if I removed gaming from my life, it would become worse. That I'd lose the only source of respect and fulfillment that I got. But now that I've actually done it, dude, real life, leveling up in real life is so much more enjoyable than any amount of gaming. And so if you just trust me when I say this, dude, you're not getting rid of something. You're not losing out when you quit gaming. You're creating a better life for yourself while you're doing this. And so my main point with this video isn't just to tell you, oh yeah, gaming's bad. I actually want to show you, okay, what are you going to benefit from getting rid of this addiction? Because I remember my parents telling me, like, oh, Tharp, don't go on the game that much. Padhai karo, just study more. And it never motivated me at all to quit gaming, right? Like, why would I just want to get rid of gaming and then just replace it with just some weird, boring stuff? But honestly, dude, I'm not going to brag or anything, right? I'm not going to try and make it out as if this is the only reason. But after I quit gaming, I'm just going to list it out. I lost 17 pounds. I became the valedictorian of my school. I have like a whole... There's one of my thumbnails where I literally have like 6 medals because back in like the 9th grade or the 8th grade, I literally got the highest marks in all my school. For the last 2 years, I've consistently got the highest grades in my entire class. More importantly than that, if you don't care about that, I've built respect for myself now. Because my whole identity, the whole source of fulfillment, I don't get that from games anymore. I get that from leveling up in real life. And not just the gay winner arc. Oh, just sing my mail. I'll get rid of all the addictions. I'm not trying to make you a faggot like that. I'm just trying to tell you, dude, you will gain exponentially more stuff from getting rid of this addiction than playing for another 6 months. And so you can ignore my advice right now. You can say, oh, this guy's being a prick. I don't want to listen to him. And you can procrastinate on what I'm saying. But 6 months from now, dude, your life isn't going to be any better if you continue doing the same thing over and over, playing the same games, grinding on the same things, ignoring your life. You can escape reality. You can escape your life, but you can't escape the consequences of that. You can't escape the fact that you're getting fat shamed, that you're miserable, that you don't feel respected. You're not going to suddenly gain those things by playing more video games, but by cutting it out. And so, you might say, well, Tharf, I don't really want to quit the addiction still, but I have a theory, one more thing that might convince you. All of the habits that you have, for example, gaming, they exist in our life for a reason, right? For example, with me, I played video games because it gave me respect, prestige, it gave me fulfillment, it gave me brotherhood, progress. But here's my point, and I have it written down right here. you can actually get those things in real life. And if you're the type of person, if you're like me, where you were actually pretty obsessive with gaming, like with me, I literally would play 8 hours a day. I'd be looking into the meta of the game. I'd be like grinding every single day, trying to optimize everything. Dude, if you carried that energy into real life, I'm not even kidding, you would be so much better in just a couple of months. You would be above everybody else in real life. And this is not me like trying to say, oh, you're going to be above. Actually, no, I'm going to say it, dude. If you take the time that you're putting into the game and you put it in real life, dude, you will be better than all of your friend group. You will reach the top 10%, the top 5% of people our age. Because again, the truth is, most people aren't doing this. Most people are like you. And that means that most people are average. And so here's the interesting thing, right? The level of enjoyment that you get from playing in real life, from working out, from slowly improving and making progress in, for example, your workouts. I'm not jacked, of course, yet, but I have lost over 17 pounds. The fulfillment you get from literally grinding in real life, whether it's improving your social skills, getting into reading, getting into improving yourself and your life, dude, trust me when I say you will enjoy your life so much more. But it comes from just taking the first leap, the uncomfortable step of getting rid of the game. But I'm not going to tell you, okay, dude, just snap your fingers and get rid of the game. My action step to you right now is very simple. Get rid of solo gaming. You know, the time where you're literally just sat there playing on your own, mouth breathing, just like, It's boring as hell, right? You don't enjoy it. So just get rid of it. And then slowly, once you do that, reintroduce some other habits that you used to enjoy. Like, dude, I forgot that I enjoyed reading up until I quit gaming and I just started getting back into it again. Slowly, what's going to happen is going to reduce your dependency on the game for fulfillment. If you start just doing these small things to improve your life, by getting rid of solo gaming, replacing it with content like this, videos like this, that's what's going to improve your life. That's what's going to make you look back in 3 months and go, holy, dude, I can't believe that happened that quick. You're going to show pictures of yourself to your classmates a couple years from now, and they're going to look at you and be like, dude, you look like that a couple of years ago. What the hell? That's the life that awaits from you when you just get rid of this addiction, dude. So I hope this video is valuable for you. If you want more advice just like that from someone who's actually gone through what you're going through, go down to the bottom link of this video, and I literally just have this free value call you can book with me, just half an hour, to help you with things like losing fat, quitting your addictions, getting straight A's. That's all I have for today. My name is Atharv. See you soon, bro.